Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Anmoll Astrology channel. And it has been so long. Most of you guys know why I was not very much active on YouTube because I'm blessed with a baby girl and she is going to turn 4 months this month, right? So that's why I was just taking my time off with all that delivery and postpartum process. And so now I am back. And we are back with a video. So I thought that the first video should actually be upon how your 2024 is going to go, because in 2024 we are going to have certain alignments, and of course everyone wants to know how their year ahead is going to go. What are the changes that this year is going to bring in? Most of you know that this year is actually the year of Saturn, 2024. So 2 plus 2 plus 4, that turns out to be 8. So 8 is the sign of infinity, and it is also the sign that, it is actually the number of Saturn. So Saturn brings in stability, growth, but with some harsh lessons, some organization and discipline. If you're not into discipline, if you're not aware of what you must do, how responsible you need to be, this Saturn is going to give you negative results. But if you know, if you are following your karma, if you are following your dharma, if you're doing things according to what Saturn is expecting from you, it will actually give you a very stable growth in this year. It'll give you growth, it'll give you stability, because remember, Saturn is slow and steady growth, but of course it is a long term growth, right? So let's share. I don't know what happened to the light. Okay, now we are back with the light. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. So what I did here is that I took the date 1st of May 2024, and I took this particular date because I wanted Jupiter in the sign of Taurus. Before starting to that, let me tell you guys that Jupiter is going to remain for the first 4 months in the sign of Aries, and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, and Rahu in the sign of Pisces, Ketu in the sign of Virgo. Now, the only change with the zodiac signs is going to happen in the month of May, where Jupiter is going to go ahead in the sign of Taurus. So that's why I thought that it would be much better if we talk about Jupiter being in Taurus. So before that, let me give an overview based on how Jupiter is going to proceed with Aries. So Jupiter has been retrograde since a while in the last quarter of 2023. So that's why now Jupiter is in its progress motion. So it is going to give heavy effects of the sign of Aries, and that too very quickly, because it is there direct just for the 4 months. So that's why wheresoever your Aries sign is, that is going to be highly active. So if your things related to the sign of Aries have been delayed or were not in progress, now it'll initiate. Like, for example, suppose your visa was stuck and you were expecting your visa to come from so much time, you were expecting your PR to come from so much time. Now, if your if your sign of Aries is somehow connected with the 12th house or the 6th house, now Jupiter is in direct motion in those particular houses, right? Jupiter is in the sign of Aries. So if suppose you are a Taurus ascendant, your Jupiter is in the 12th house, you are a Scorpio ascendant, your Jupiter is in the 6th house in the transit. So that means for these two particular ascendants, the further movement of PR or of a visa application is now going to move. And similarly, you can judge for any other, zodiac sign. Like suppose this is the Aries ascendant chart. So Jupiter is in the ascendant. So now they are going to progress. They are going to go towards their soul path, because first house is actually about the soul path. First house is your activities, it's your personality, and it also directly aspects the seventh house. So if there was a situation that you were trying to get married, it was stuck from last 4 months, now it is going to initiate. So that is the thing which is going to happen with Jupiter in the first house. And I think in the sign of Aries, and I think I made the previous video when actually Jupiter entered in the sign of Aries. So you can go and hear that out, so that you know what is actually the predictions for Jupiter in Aries. Now those particular predictions are more active, right? So today we are going to talk about this particular alignment that we have. So Jupiter, May onwards, it is going to be in the sign of Taurus, Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, Rahu in the sign of Pisces, and Ketu in the opposition in the sign of Virgo. Now, there are a few elements that are very, very important that you need to understand. I don't know what is happening with this light. Let's just put it off. Okay. So, so Jupiter is giving its aspect to Ketu, and Ketu is giving its aspect to Jupiter. So they are in a mutual aspect. Jupiter is giving its fifth aspect to Ketu. Ketu is giving its ninth aspect to Jupiter. Right? Now, another thing is that the sign of Scorpio is going to be highly activated. Wherever your sign of Scorpio is, that is the house that is going to be highly active. So if Scorpio activates, what happens? There's a major transformation in a person's life. There is sudden events in a person's life. Now, what will this particular Scorpio transformation do? For everyone, this is actually for everyone. Wherever your Scorpio is, you're going to transform through that area, and you're going to have hard lessons of that area. So that particular house is going to be your house of activation for this year. That is going to be your house where you have to put all your focus in. So what could be the remedy for this year? The remedy could be that you put your efforts and your skills into that house wherever Scorpio is. Just put all your efforts in that house, and you're going to get good results. Now, why I'm saying that Scorpio is going to be highly active? See, Jupiter here is directly aspecting the sign of Scorpio. Then Rahu, with its ninth aspect, it is activating the sign of Scorpio. Now Saturn, with its 10th aspect, is activating the sign of Scorpio. Now what does Saturn's 10th aspect means? Your karma, your hard work, that goes towards that house. That means now this is the area where you have to put your hard work. This is the area which is going to frame your public image. And this is the particular area which is going to make you work really, really hard. Most of all, this is going to be activated. Now, the second thing, Jupiter's 7th aspect is there. So your skills are going to go into that particular house. Your information, your knowledge is going to grow from that particular house. Jupiter also blesses the sign of Scorpio with its 7th aspect. Because wherever Jupiter is, it is going to give you lessons over there. So Jupiter is going to give you materialistic lessons this year, practical lessons this year, secure lessons this year. We'll come to that. But before that, it is very important to understand what effect the sign of Scorpio is getting. So Jupiter is throwing its blessing, being in the sign of Taurus, into the sign of Scorpio. So whatever lessons, whatever hard work that you'll require to do because of Saturn's 10th aspect, Jupiter is going to give you blessings through that hard work. So this particular hard work of yours is not going to go into vain. It is not going to go empty, or it's not like you won't get results out of it. You'll definitely will get results out of it. So howsoever organized you'll keep that particular house of yours where Scorpio is there, how you just need to mend that house. We are going to talk about, through when we'll go through each and every zodiac sign, we'll talk that how you are supposed to mend that particular house. Right now, Rahu's ninth aspect is also there. So Rahu's ninth aspect is very similar to Jupiter's ninth aspect, but Jupiter's ninth aspect is about expansion, is about lessons, and Rahu's ninth aspect is about explosion, sudden, direct lessons, but lessons in a very innovative way. It actually also activates your fortune suddenly. It can suppress your fortune suddenly. The ninth aspect of Rahu, it can activate your fortune suddenly with the ninth aspect of Rahu. So I would say that this particular placement, the sign of Scorpio, wherever it is going to make you work hard. It is going to give you recognition, and it is going to give you blessings. So it could be monetary, it could be, it could be anything else. Anything. Depends on which house it rules. Okay, so now let's get started with each and every planet, and then we'll go ahead with each and every zodiac sign. So I'm going to put on an introductory video, which is going to be this one. The next one is going to be for the fire signs: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Then we'll go with the Artha signs: Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. Then we'll go with air, and lastly we'll go with the water. Right? So Jupiter in the sign of Taurus, what will it do? First of all, Jupiter is what? It is wisdom, it is blessings, it is optimism. How optimistic you are. It is also your belief system. It is not just religious, but it is a spiritual planet. Spiritual in a way, spiritual, knowledge related spiritual. Okay, so there's a difference between being religious and being spiritual. Spiritual is actually having the higher understanding of this universe. So basically, Jupiter. So basically, this Jupiter is going to give you, just a second. Okay, I'm sorry for the interruption. So Jupiter being in an Artha sign and being in the sign, which is the original second house. What is second house? Second house is what you possess. It's your finances, it's your wealth, it's your security, it's your lifestyle. It's your, in a way, it's a part of your career. It's your family, it's your traditions, culture. So now Jupiter is here to bring all of those things into light. Now you will feel responsible so as to manage your finances. Why? Because Jupiter is a strategist. Jupiter is a manager. Mars is also about management, but it's actually Jupiter and Mars all together which are about the management. But Jupiter initially is a planet which is going to teach you lessons. It is going to tell you the importance of a lifestyle. It is going to tell you importance for future securities. So this year, everyone's mind is going to go towards futuristic things. And backing that up, there's Saturn in a very futuristic sign, in the sign of Aquarius. What is Aquarius? Aquarius is the 11th house. It is the original 11th house, the 11th house of desires, your social circle, your recognition, what you desire, what you want in life, what attracts you in life. And you need to know this particular side of Aquarius also, that Aquarius is about presenting oneself in front of people, large organization, NGOs, helping people, thinking about everyone. But you know what is the true essence of Aquarius? That these people always want, they're very practical and very scientific in nature. They want to get benefits for themselves because they want to fulfill their desires, but by fulfilling the desires of everyone around them. But it should start from them. So that is the kind of, I won't say they are individualistic or selfish like the sign of Aries, but it's just that they know their priorities are very sorted. They know that they need to benefit themselves first, and then along with that, they want everyone else to get benefited. Okay, so that's why Saturn here is activating that particular element. It is activating the futuristic element for an individual. So, main focus of everyone here is going to be on how to gain, how to do particular investments, or how to contribute their efforts into such things which are going to yield good results in the future. So whatever investments you make this year, whatever work you start this year, whatever education you start this year, that is going to give you result for the long term, since it's the year of Saturn. That's why anything and everything you start this year is going to give you results in the future, and very stable, good results. So a lot of innovations will take place in this year. Okay, got it? So now about Rahu and Ketu. We did discuss Jupiter and Saturn. Now let's discuss Rahu and Ketu. Rahu is in the water sign. Ketu is in the earth sign. Very opposite. Both of them do not feel comfortable there. Ketu is a planet of spirituality, as we say. But Ketu is also the planet of competition. It is the planet of innovation. It is the planet of research. It feels good in water signs because it is more of itself. And why particularly more water sign? Rahu is the head and Ketu is the body. It doesn't have head, but it does have the heart. So heart is about what? Emotions, feelings. It is not about thinking logically. Now Ketu is coming into that sign which is full of logics. Now Ketu is very analytical in its own sense, but when it comes into an earth sign, it becomes extremely analyst, extremely into particular and picky about things, especially in the sign of Virgo. So the analytical nature of Virgo is going to add up with the analytical nature of Ketu. So a person is going to be very crucial and very calculative with wherever the sign of Virgo is. You'll see wherever the sign of Virgo is, or you'll see Virgo people to research on minute things, specifically on careers, on source of income. They'll be very considerate about their day-to-day life. Right? Because it's what? Ketu is where? It's in the original 6th house. The 6th house is of health, diseases. It is the house of nutrition. It's the house of your career environment, your colleagues, your pets, debts, legal activities. So Ketu will try you to achieve that particular house by being over analytical, over calculative. And remember, I'm adding the word over, because both of these elements, the element of the zodiac sign and the element of the planet, are adding up and making the excess of something. Whereas, and you need to understand this. Whenever the transit of Ketu comes in, do not feel that you're going to just get detached from that particular house. You need, I always say this about Ketu, that you need to attach first so as to detach. So, originally, the obsession actually comes in firstly, and wherever Ketu is. And then after you keep obsessing about that particular thing, then the detachment comes in. Then you start obsessing over Rahu, and that's actually your end result. You start obsessing over the Rahu things. Because first you'll try to achieve the placement of Ketu. Right? So Rahu is actually in the sign of Pisces. It's in the water element. Now this year, along with everyone's focus on materialistic aspects, wealth, possessions, career, income, along with that, people will have subconsciously activating their spiritual growth. This Rahu is going to make it difficult for you to connect spiritually. But there's I don't remember the exact term we used to use, but something that is hard to achieve, that is the thing which is actually going to attract you the most. Even though that's not on your mind, but once you get to know this is something that you might not be able to achieve, you're going to go towards that. That's human psychology. So that's why a person, because of this Rahu, they'll just face problems with connecting spiritually. Why? Because there are going to be circumstances in your life where you'll just have this thought of connecting spiritually. But what will happen, that even though it's just a thought, you're not putting any actions towards it. But since you'll feel, or you'll start developing this sense that there's going to be problem for me to achieve spiritual growth, you're going to obsess over it. You're going to start thinking about it a lot. But also it shows, since it is in the original 12th house, it shows a lot of expenditure happening in this year. So wherever your sign of Pisces is, there's a lot of expenditure that is going to happen towards that area. Virgo individuals, Pisces is in the 7th house. Either there's going to be expenditure towards the marriage, or it is going to be expenditure for the partner. The partner is going to obsess over certain things. We'll talk about it when we'll get to the sign of Virgo. But I just wanted to let everyone know that this is what are the basic results that you can expect from these 4 planets: Jupiter, Rahu, Ketu, and Saturn. And it's not just individual effects, it's collective effects. That's why we discussed about the dominance of earth signs this year, and also the effect which all the planets are throwing towards the sign of Scorpio. So these are the listed changes that you would encounter in this year. Okay. So what we'll do is, in the next video, I'm going to go ahead with the fire signs first. Okay, so if you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And if you guys would like to have your personal readings from me, just check out the link below. I don't know if it is here or here. Anyway, it could be. So www.anmollastrology.com, and under the personal consultations section, you can get a personal reading for yourself. And if you are a person who knows about astrology and want to dive deeper into astrology, into your own chart, that you can go for unique readings, right? So after there's a unique reading section where you can go and check it out. And I also have courses available which you might not see completely on the website, but if you are interested to learn astrology, you can even sign up for the courses, and you can drop me an email at contact.asastrology@gmail.com so as to inquire about the courses. Okay, see you up with the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.